2:05 here on this early Sunday. A 4-hour edition of JJ After Dark. That's right. John Jastrzemski keeping you company right here on the fan. I want to hear from you. Join the conversation, 877-337-6666. You got Anthony Gallo. Across the way on the other side of the glass, Ron Flatter with your updates. Every 20 minutes, we are with you up until 6 o'clock. Bobby Salter in the Public Affairs program coming your way then. Fan right here in New York City. I hope everybody is enjoying the last unofficial weekend of summer. Although, even with the New York Mets winning here on Saturday, and it was a brilliant, complete game effort by Bartolo Colon, there are going to be a lot of angry Met fans that I hear from over the course of JJ After Dark today. You just get that feel. Because this Matt Harvey situation has taken a turn for the worst. It is now a situation that is bizarre, beyond belief here. And I can't believe what's happening. Because I was the same guy a month ago, 2 months ago, telling you over and over again, you don't need to worry about innings limits, Met fans. You don't need to worry about your big guns being shut down for the games that matter the most. I was adamant about that. Did not foresee in any way that it was going to be a problem. And when I woke up on Friday, and I woke up from doing the overnight show Thursday and Friday, I hear this story about Harvey and Boris having this little 180 cap for the 2015 season. My first thought is that Matt Harvey is going to put this to bed immediately when he addresses the media. That Matt Harvey is going to say this is a bunch of BS. Because this is the same guy who has been a bulldog in his Met tenure. This is the same guy that was ticked off, for goodness sakes, a month ago, 2 months ago, when the Mets were running out a 6-man rotation. You remember that? Because I do. I remember Harvey was being a big baby. He was being a bit of a prima donna about it. He didn't like the 6-man rotation. It messed up his flow. It messed up its rhythm. Whatever the case may be. I expected Harvey to nip this in the bud. But on Saturday, Harvey is towing the line of Scott Boras. He's towing the line of Dr. James Andrews. The guy you expected to pitch in a postseason would not guarantee on Saturday that he'd take the ball in the month of October. Are you kidding me? You cannot be serious. This is the bulldog of your staff. The Dark Knight. You're telling me he's going to now shut it down for the postseason? That is an absolute travesty if that's the case. A travesty. And if I'm a Met fan and he's sitting on his rear end, chewing tobacco, spitting sunflower seeds in October when your team's trying to win a postseason series, I would never, ever, ever want him to wear a Met uniform ever again. I'm sorry. This is not Steven Strasburg. This would be even worse than that. Because at least with Strasburg, the Nationals were the ones to do it. We like to get on the Mets for everything. I get that. It's in vogue, and even with the success they've had this year, that's just like the cool thing to do, is to make fun and poke fun at the Mets. I don't blame the Mets for this. I don't. The Mets had no idea. The Mets thought that they had a plan in place. I give Sandy Alderson and the Brain Trust credit because they actually tried to curtail the innings of Matt Harvey. And now here we are, Boris, Harvey, dropping this bomb on the Mets in late August. How in the world does that make sense? How does it make sense, folks? Isn't the idea, isn't the notion of any legitimate big leaguer to perform and thrive in the postseason? Isn't that what it's all about? And I get it, Matt Harvey is looking out for his long-term future and his long-term career. I get all that. That's all well and good. You're telling me an extra 20 or 30 innings is going to all of a sudden ruin Matt Harvey for the next 10 years? Get out out of town. Get out of town. I saw Madison Bumgarner last year pitch on 3 days rest. I saw Madison Bumgarner go out there and pitch out of the bullpen. And I get it. He's a rubber arm guy. He's a guy who could probably roll out of bed tomorrow and give you 9 innings. Like it's nothing. And he's not every pitcher in all of baseball. But we're talking about Matt Harvey. We're talking about a guy who is supposed to have this competitive spirit. Guy who doesn't give a you-know-what. To me, and we'll see if this is true. We'll see if Harvey ends up towing the Boris line or if he vows to pitch in the postseason. We'll find out after his next start here against the Nats. But if indeed Harvey shuts it down, if indeed Matt Harvey does not pitch in the postseason, he is a gutless coward. He is a fraud if he does not pitch in October for the New York Mets. Because that's what it's all about here. That's what it's all about. You play these games to reach the month of October. And if Harvey and his people had an innings limit, you should have told the Mets in March. And guess what? They could have had Matt Harvey start off the year May 15th. Would have been a very simple solution. So I don't blame the Mets here. It's not like the Mets did anything wrong. How in the world were they supposed to know? They have been the same organization, the same team that has treated this guy so carefully. So carefully. Extra days of rest. Shutting him down here or there. Harvey, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, was talking about what it would mean to pitch in the postseason. That it's about pitching a postseason. Go look back and find the quotes. That's what Matt Harvey was telling you. It's about the playoffs. It's about having the opportunity to pitch in the playoffs. Now, if you shut it down in the middle of September, those words meant absolutely nothing. And I'm sure we're going to take a lot of calls tonight from angry Met fans who are going to suggest the idea of trading away Matt Harvey. And I know that we've joked about it in the past. Matt Harvey going to the Yankees, grew up a Jeter fan. He went to Jeter's last game. I'm a Yankee fan. If Harvey shuts it down in the middle of September, I wouldn't want that guy anywhere near my team. Wouldn't want him near my team. I don't care how talented he is. It's about the postseason. You're going to shut it down on September the 13th and be Steven Strasburg Part 2? Hey, I got a memo for you, Matt. I got a memo for you, Scott Boras. Watch Steven Strasburg pitch. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to these innings limits. There's not. The Nationals were as careful as can be with Steven Strasburg. How is that working out? Does Steven Strasburg look like one of the 5 or 10 best pitchers in all baseball? No chance. I can't believe this is honestly going to happen. And shame on Matt Harvey. Shame on Matt Harvey, not Boris. Boris, listen, is going to look out for his guys' well-being. That's the way it works if you're an agent. If I were Scott Boras, I'd probably be doing the same thing because I have a lot of money invested in Matt Harvey. And I want to make 100,000% sure that I can cash in on that $150, $200 million deal. But, gee whiz, you're going to shut down Matt Harvey in the middle of September for a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2006? The Met fan has every reason to go bonkers on this guy. They really do. Because it would be an absolute joke. You cannot be serious here, folks. I read this story Friday. I didn't put much stock into it until I heard the quotes from Boris. And Boris was steadfast about it. And now you know one thing. It appears the agent and the player are working hand in hand. And I was naive and stupid enough to not put that together on Friday. That maybe Boris was just spewing your rhetoric. Oh, no. If Boris is spewing rhetoric, it's coming from the client. So the client here, Matt Harvey, is apparently on board with this plan. And if indeed that's true, here's what I would tell Matt Harvey. I would tell Matt, you're done for the year. You got 14 innings left. Go in the bullpen in the month of October and get me some outs at the end of games. and try and make the best of what is going to be a lousy situation. But if you're a Met fan and you've been waiting for this year and you've been waiting for this postseason run to get the news that Harvey could be shut down by some dopey, stupid innings limit, that is the ultimate punch in the gut. And if I'm a Met fan, I almost hope the team makes a deep October run in spite of Matt Harvey and tells them to stick it where the sun don't shine. Maybe Harvey is singing a different tune on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe he is. Maybe Harvey and his people sit down and realize what a monumental mistake this would be as far as ruining his image here in his town as a New York Met. I always thought Harvey was a tough guy. I always thought he was a bulldog. Yeah, he likes himself. He likes the attention. We've seen it now over the last couple of years. He's a bit of a diva at times when it comes to some of the glitz and the glamour. Yeah, but you're putting up with it when he's pitching his rear end off. You are, and you're willing to accept it when he's pitching like one of the best pitchers in baseball. He wants to shut it down in the middle of September with the postseason right around the corner. I have no use for Matt Harvey if that's the case. None. And if he wants to shut it down, if I'm running the team, he ain't pitching for me next year. Goodbye and good riddance. And I know how good he may be. But if he's going to do that and turn his back on every single guy in that Met locker room, that cannot be tolerated. That cannot be accepted. That's the sort of thing that would drive me insane if I'm a Met fan. Insane. His comments on Saturday are probably driving you up a wall. They're driving me up a wall, and I don't even root for the Mets. That's how upset I am if indeed Matt Harvey is going to do this. It's a disgrace, and it would never happen 20 or 30 years ago, but it's the world we live in now. These guys are babied. They're pampered. It's the life we live when it comes to the modern athlete. But I will not tolerate, I will not stand for Matt Harvey shutting it down in the middle of September. I'm sorry. That is an absolute disgrace if that's the case. An absolute disgrace. 877-337-6666. If we've seen the last of Matt Harvey come Tuesday or whatever the case may be in the middle of September, he is the definition of a gutless coward on the mound. And this persona of being a Dark Knight was a colossal waste of time. Let's get it rolling with your Harvey calls.